In the previous episode, we found out about a Psi Disrupter, essentially a device that can be used to control the Zerg. Now, it's currently on Tarsonis, and in the previous episode, we made our way to the device using Duran. Now, both Duran and Dugal want the device destroyed. However, Alexei Stukov tried to convince the others to keep it around to hopefully control the Zerg himself. Now, we don't really know exactly what happened to it, but regardless, the next mission is called Assault on Korhal, the UED flagship Alexander in low orbit over the planet.
Captain, once again, your leadership has set a fine example to the rest of my officers. Vice Admiral Stukov has informed me that the Psi Disrupter has been accounted for, so we can now proceed with the next phase of our operation. The time has come to begin our primary invasion of the Dominion throne world of Korhal. Alexei, fill the captain in on the current situation.
As you may know from your research, Captain, Korhal was a hotbed of anti-Confederate sentiment for years. The Confederacy hoped to contain Korhal's civil unrest by decimating it and its population with a massive nuclear barrage. Though the radiation levels on the planet are at an all-time low, its surface is now nothing more than a smoldering desert.
The catch, Admiral, is that because this world has already been devastated by nuclear fire, Minsk has no compunction against using nukes on us. We have detected a large cluster of missile silos on the outskirts of Augustgrad. If those silos were destroyed, we believe that Minsk would lose its core nuclear capabilities.
We also face a different obstacle, Captain. Intelligence has informed us that Minsk employs multiple battlecruisers for his planetary defense. It is possible to nullify these battlecruisers by taking out strategic physics labs. Without these labs, Minsk will be unable to power up his ship's weapon systems.
Though we know how to compensate for Minsk's defenses, we don't have enough time to follow through on them both. Therefore, Captain, you must choose to either counter his nuclear capabilities or his battlecruisers. Once you've taken care of this operation, we can begin to plan our final assault against Augustgrad.
Alrighty, so one important thing to note right there is that Dugal very clearly said that the Psi Disruptor was accounted for, right? And I'm assuming he got that information from Alexei Stukov, who really didn't want it destroyed. So maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I don't think that Alexei Stukov actually destroyed the Psi Disruptor. But regardless, in this next mission, I like these kind of objectives a lot. We have two different ways of obtaining the victory. Either we destroy the enemy physics labs, or we destroy the enemy nuclear silos. Alrighty, so here we are in a nice little deserty kind of tile set. I like this one a lot. Look at that. Looks so pretty. A little bit different once again. But anyways, so we've got two different ways of obtaining the victory. I don't really know exactly if it matters which one I do. Obviously, we've already seen one of those missions as well during the Protoss campaign. But regardless, I think that once again, we'll get started right here by building up our economy. As far as units go, I think I do want to focus on quite a lot of siege tanks. I found them to be a lot of fun to use, so let's go ahead and get the machine shop started as soon as we can, so we can go ahead and get ourselves the siege mode upgrade as well. And let's do a little bit of scouting right here with the rage, just in case, because I'm hoping that we're going to find ourselves another expansion. We are somewhat in the middle of this map, actually, interestingly enough, so maybe we have to be careful as well of different attacks that will be coming in. Alright, so there's a base over here that we can potentially take, and I think I will go ahead and do exactly that right from the get-go. There is now also... Oh, ooh, I just lost one of my units. Alright, so there's indeed going to be a base over here as well. I lost one of my raids there because I wasn't paying close attention, but regardless, let's go ahead and actually start up the expansion first, and then we'll focus on other units and upgrades and whatnot here in just a second as well. I do think it's probably a good idea for me to go ahead and maybe get a couple of bunkers set up in these different areas. Maybe make it so that my siege tanks can indeed set up shop reasonably easily as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and start up another command center. Right over there. That's not a bad position at all. And let's continue making a bunch more SFEs. So let's do a little bit of scouting over to this side of the map as well. I want to know as much as I can, right? Because I don't really know exactly where I should be attacking, or where I should be expecting attacks from. Usually it does seem like they... I look away twice from my raids while controlling them, and they both die in just a matter of seconds. Not exactly what I had in mind, but regardless, generally speaking, they don't seem to really push into my natural expansion nearly as quickly. So we can probably get away with not getting that one, you know, as early here. Let's get ourselves the refinery out. Apparently there are now a couple of fire bats here trying to do some damage to us as well. Don't really even want to deal with you guys. So there we go. But we'll just simply focus on getting ourselves as big of an economy up as we can, while maybe getting a bunker here and there as well. Let's go ahead and set one up over here. And I think we're going to set one up over there then as well. Let's go ahead and get one over there. Bunkers are really nice in this game. I have not really been focusing that much on static defense in general. But just like with Zerg, eventually we found out that sunken colonies in particular are absolutely incredible. I think that the more static defense we get in the campaign, the easier it's going to be. The one thing, of course, to keep in mind is that I play a lot of multiplayer in StarCraft 2. And usually multiplayer games, you know, they're quite literally decided with units, right? Not necessarily with static defense. And while static defense definitely does have its place, usually it's more or less like a, you know, an emergency measure rather than something you want to rely on all too much. But I think that in the campaign, it does seem rather powerful. Anyway, let's go ahead and start rallying some SCVs over towards my natural expansion right now. I'm hoping I'm not going to trigger any units from moving in here as well. But let's go ahead and set these guys up to go into these bunkers. We'll get ourselves another supply depot here too. Let's get ourselves the U238 shell upgrade there, which is going to increase the range of my Marines. Very nice little way of making your army a significant bunch stronger. And let's go ahead and load up the Marines into these bunkers as well. So really early game, we're just going to focus on defending this area. I've even set up static defense. I know that some of you in the comments are going to be really proud of me. Alrighty, so I found out the hard way that indeed there are going to be units moving up from the north as well. So I'm just setting up a bunch of different bunkers in different locations here. I think we're mostly done now with SCVs though. We can get a couple more, I guess, but that's about it. Getting myself the Stimpack research here. Gonna start producing a bunch of siege tanks here as well. And I think that I want to set up most of my production actually, maybe over here. I mean, I don't have that much space actually to build over here. You know what? I'm gonna move you guys over. This may be a bit of a silly idea, but the longer that these games go, usually the harder it is to actually be producing as well. Now a couple of units coming over in this direction, but... get a bunker set up over here. Wow. That is value right there out of a single fire bat. Anyway, let's set up a bunker over here as well. And we'll continue building up a bunch more siege tanks. I guess I'm gonna put them in the different corners. While also building up additional Marines. Ooh, a single ghost. Wow, alright, well, that's more or less a dead ghost right now. Alright, let's continue upgrades as much as we can. I want to set up a bunch of barracks. Let's go ahead and saturate this gas here as well. We can probably afford just a handful more SCVs. And let's go ahead and rally all of these Marines into the area right here in the center. Of course, also get a bunch of medics out, because medics are great. And actually, apparently there's now a ghost with the lockdown ability here as well. Ooh, nice. Alright, the missions are indeed getting a little bit trickier here already. Oh man, there's not actually also units pushing in from the top. I don't actually have a lot of units here right now. Should probably rally some in this direction here instead. Whew. Very good. But let's go ahead and start up a couple of bunkers over here as well. I already had one going up there, but apparently the SCV ended up dying. We just simply need to defend from every single angle here while building up an army. Alright, well I can do that. Let's go ahead and put up another siege tank over there then. Siege it up over in that direction. And eventually we're gonna be able to hold this just fine, right? I don't think they are gonna be able to do that much here once we secure this area nicely. For now though, still a lot of potential threats here coming in. Let's go ahead and siege you up. Okay, get into that bunker please. Okay, you guys get in there. Repair that depot please. And once again, I'm gonna have to build some depots here too, but this is already looking a lot safer. Alright, let's go ahead and fill up all the bunkers. I've also moved over the single factory right there, by the way. Let's fill up all the bunkers, make sure the units are in there. Apparently we can hold one more right up north. I'll leave an SCV around here as well to repair them if we need to. That should already make this a whole lot safer. And right now, I've got a very nice little setup here towards my natural expansion, where I am building an awful lot of stuff. Like with Terran, you do have to be quite careful though, because supply depots take up a lot of space. It's maybe a little bit of a silly thing to say, but supply depots take up a lot of space, and if you're not paying attention, it's actually very easy to mess it up. I don't even know if my army can still move up there. Are you going to be able to make that, Mr. Siege Tank? I'm hoping you do. Let's go ahead and make sure that we hotkey the comsat towers right here as well. I guess I can go ahead and get another one over here. There we go. Let's get a couple of medics going. A couple more siege tanks as well. But slowly we're building ourselves up to a very nice little force. Do want to make sure that I get myself a starport here very soon as well, just so we can continue upgrading right here in the town armory. But so far so good, right? So far, it's looking quite nice for us. I guess I can put you in a bit more of an optimal position. Enemy waves, by the way, keep coming in, but they just simply get shelled down. Good luck trying to make your way past all of this. Man, my army does a lot of damage. Alright, very nice. So enemy units keep flying in right now, but they quite literally die by the time they do anything. I would like to gun that thing down though, if I can. There we go. Lockdown is rather annoying, but it does time out eventually. There's enemies moving in from different angles right now. Actually, the amount of attacks here, they do become quite a bit more scary. Don't know exactly where this thing is located. Oh, there it was. We should probably consider getting up some missile turrets then as well, just in case we need to. There we go. Now, I am at a point right now, though, where I am gonna be maxing out in just a matter of minutes. So, I'm gonna get a couple more depots set up. And I think we are gonna make a bit of a move as well. Now, the one thing that I am running into is that I don't actually know exactly where I need to be going. I don't exactly know where I should be looking for the objective point, right? So let's go ahead and save here. I should probably go ahead and do something like that. Hotkey as many of my tanks as I can. Hopefully get some of these units out of here as well. But I think I want to start pushing into this direction here. I don't know. I'm in this weird funnel. I've got more than enough siege tanks though. I want to get more. More siege tanks better, right? Let's go ahead and continue pushing as many of these army units forward here. And I guess I can go ahead and siege up right over here. Slowly move my army across. Honestly, watching like professional StarCraft 1, and I've been watching quite a bit as of late. A lot of the ASL and all kinds of other professional tier tournaments. The guys don't actually really like run into any issues when it comes to moving their army around. Moving your army around in this game is really tough. In particular with like Terran bio, as well as just simply you know, Zerg, for example. Like, an entire control group worth of Zerglings, right? Is 6 supply. It's not that impressive. Alright, well, let's move onwards. We should probably go ahead and target fire that siege tank down if we can. Come on! Come on, sir! Move down that ramp! Alright, let's just siege up over here. It's probably a little bit safer. I don't really know exactly where my objective point is and where I need to be pushing here next, but we seem to be doing a pretty good job right now at killing things. Okay, very nice. Still trying to move as many army units here across the map as I can. Not really losing a whole lot here either, though, so that's nice. Taking care of this area here if we need to. I could actually take that as an expansion here as well, although so far we seem to be in a pretty good spot as far as income goes. Trying to slowly push onwards. Okay. And just simply push onwards here as well towards this bridge over here, which is probably roughly where we need to be going. Let's siege up a couple of these tanks. Once again, trying to rally units across. You kind of have to like assume where you're going to be pushing a minute or so from now, which is kind of awkward. If there's gonna be a bridge here, that's also kind of awkward, because we all know how good units are at moving across bridges. Although I guess I can just go ahead and use my bio for this kind of thing. Ooh, a single... Oh man, a single stasis siege tank there is making this significantly harder. There we go. Got that thing taken care of. Move over in that direction, boys. Don't block the rest of your reinforcements if we can. Okay, but we are moving onwards once again. Alright, so we could go ahead and just simply siege up and slowly push onwards. Seems to do quite well, to be honest. I can go ahead and siege up these guys and allow my other siege tanks to move a little bit closer. Okay. Can we kill that thing? Is that gonna die? Wow. That certainly seemed like a very powerful thing, but eventually we should be running into an army here, right? Eventually we should be running into a force here that we should hopefully be able to take out. Apparently some of my marines are taking a bit of a different route here. I think there must be another ghost somewhere here. That doesn't really matter all too much. There we go. Get you guys over here. This is gonna be where we need to go? I don't know, I'm taking out most of the base. I'm taking out most of the map here as well. Eventually we should jump into something, right? Ooh, there we go. We found the nuclear silos. Perfect. Siege up, boys. Get into an area where you feel safe. I'm actually not making that many marines right now. That's a little interesting. There's actually a whole lot of them. Ah, it doesn't really matter. We got more than enough stuff here on the other side of the map. There we go. And with all of these nuclear silos in sight, all we need to do is just siege up these siege tanks, which is what they're made for. Take care of all of these things, and I don't know if I would recommend shelling away with a siege tank on nuclear silos. That doesn't seem like a great way to disarm potential lethal bombs. But eventually, right, after this very defensive setup here in the earlier part of the game, we seem to be taking care of most of this objective. I mean, I don't actually have energy anymore. But regardless, we seem to be taking care right here of the main objective point. And I think with that, we've taken care of 6 nuclear silos.
Done, Captain. We won't need to worry about nukes when we siege Mengsk Pass.
There we go. Was that it? Did I complete the mission? Huh. Pretty straightforward, all things considered. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this mission. We are starting to ramp up the speed, I feel like, at which we complete this campaign. And I hope you enjoy the process right here at which I'm trying to, like, you know, cut out the boring parts out of every video, and I'm trying to make it exciting and everything. You gotta keep in mind, though, that of course this is going to be a game, you know, from 1998. It's been out for quite a long time at this point, right? So obviously some of the missions may be a little bit less exciting than the others, but I feel like we're making pretty decent progress here as far as my macro and control and whatnot goes. Now I say that, of course, with 5,000 resources in the bank, but you know, near the ending of this mission, we didn't really need any more army units here, and even though I wasn't controlling it perfectly, I feel like we are feeling more confident at the very least when it comes to moving out. Thank you so much for all of the tips, and thank you for watching this video as well. If you want to receive a notification as soon as the next episode goes live and you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And other than that, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day, okay? Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one.